Hi everyone, my name is Sanja Ollarvide, Oceanography student. The corresponding topic is marine biogeochemistry, and here the first qualitative practice on evaporated salinity will be developed. This is parallel 1, and as teachers I have to Franklin Ormaza and Viviana Santander. In life, water plays a very important role in various biological processes. Almost 17% of the planet is covered by water. Even our body is made of more than 50% of it. This practice indirectly dabbles in the ability of water to dissolve a substance. For example, by mixing water with sugar or salt, it gives the impression that they tend to disappear when dissolved, but by evaporating the water with dissolved substance, we can recover them. When talking about salinity, we refer to the content of salt dissolved in soils or waters. If you have ever felt the salty taste of the water, it is due to the sodium chloride it contains, which is known as table salt and also have the role of one of the salts responsible for the salinity of the ocean. In the experiment, we will use the water dissolution property to measure the amount of salt from any water sample collected from a water body, or failing that, some simple prepared at home. Previously, salinity was difficult to measure, but thanks to the Mercer principle, which states that the proportionality of the larger element is constant. Regardless, the water salinity varies from place to place. The element of seawater in the open ocean are in constant proportions. That is, we can determine salinity by measuring the chloride that has a certain amount of water. So, we can say that salinity is the amount of salts dissolved in 1 kilogram of water. Salinity of great importance both from a biological perspective, due to its influence in osmotic pressure and ionic equilibrium, and consequently on physiological aspects of living organisms, as well as from a physical perspective by influencing the dynamics of the oceans in phenomena such as the horizontal and vertical circulation of the water masses in the seas. Most of the Earth's water can be considered a solution of various salts. An average concentration for a salinity ocean is around 25 grams per kilogram. Well, I will explain to the procedure and the protocol adopted. Because of the form major, when collecting water and with evidence from certain studies that rivers, waters have COVID-19 virus at the time of collecting water, efforts made to take the high-end measures recommended by OMS. Also, take precaution with handling and performing the experiment at home. For the collection of the water sample, we make use of a container from which we know the contained volume for practical purpose to avoid measuring the amount of volume mathematically. In practice, a 500 milliliter container was used, which was filled by the collected water sample, and after water collection, the substance was poured into a medium-sized pot. The pot walls are ensured to be high to avoid burns at the time of the evaporation process, and the pot was placed with the water in the stove over medium heat. Once the water is in the stove, we must be aware of the evaporation process. We can observe that the water is boiling, and after a certain time, we can observe the appearance of the salt crystals that form and adhere to the interior of the pot. We can see the salt in the pot. Well, evaporate all the water in the container. We must let the pot cool down a bit, and we proceed to remove the salt crystals from the pot to carry out the registration of the amount of salt contained in the pot. Once the salt was put in a sleeve, I proceeded to weigh the salt, and the scale registered 20 grams of salt. For greater safety, I weighed the salt obtained to different scales, but both gave me the same result. So, as data we have 20 grams of salt and 500 milliliters of water collected from the estero salado. Making the proper calculation, we can say that the salinity of this estero salado is 0.04 grams per milliliter or 4 grams per liter. Thanks.